Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Act with Purpose podcast. I am your host, I guess, Adam Peddle. And over to my far left, we've got John Stevens. Hello, welcome back.
Hey, good morning. How's it going?
Good morning. Good. I had one coffee, so I'm ready for number two.
Just the one.
Just the one, but number two's coming.
Yeah, that's what happens with coffee.
Yeah, it never ends. It never ends. And Lawrence over here, he is our first guest ever on the Act of Purpose podcast. So congratulations on that.
Yes.
Woo! Welcome, Lawrence. Good to have you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
and what
welcome
a
in.
perfect first guest, I have to say.
Yeah. Well,
Thanks,
Lawrence,
John.
for those who don't know, Lawrence actually attended John's scene study class, so it's fun that we get to have a little bit of a connection here. This is my first time actually meeting you, Lawrence, in person.
Appreciate it.
So it's great to have you.
Me too.
You're a ball of energy and lots to say, and I absolutely love it. So that's why when you asked to come on the podcast, I was like, well, I think you'd be absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. So why don't you tell me a little bit about when you first met John in person in that scene study class?
Oh my goodness! Actually goes back to us at the barbecue.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget it.
What's this barbecue?
It was at Taco at Kensington, right? And I'll never forget. As soon as John walked into the room, and me and my friends were like, "Is that John Stevens?" He's like, "Yeah, it is." And it just started from there. And then after I wouldn't know if he would recognize me, and I said like, "Hey, John, is Lawrence here?" And John was like, "Oh my god!" And then,
I love
and then
that.
it just the relationship started from there. But I'm gonna be honest with you. At the same time, I remember there was this guy which was John. He posted me on social media. I'm like, and said, "Is a Coach John Stevens?" Yeah, and I'm like, "Coach John Stevens." Okay, whatever. So, I followed him. He looked interesting, and he started liking all my posts and everything. I'm like, okay, this is getting interesting, right? And
John's a weird guy.
it's all good.
That's nice.
It's like, really? And I think he was promoting his school. So I'm like, okay, so this is interesting. And there was another guy, I can't remember his name. He was a former assistant, and it just went on from there. I just started asking questions like, hey, what do you guys do in this school? And he was like, hey, we provide this, and we provide that, and the relationship, it just started from there. I'm like, you know what? Let me do it, right?
Yeah.
And it started with Justin Michael Carey. It is. Wait, am I pronouncing his name?
Yeah,
Carrier.
Justin Michael Carrier. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Carrier. Okay.
Carrier.
And wow, when you get taught by him, it's like I was in a totally different world. I was like, what? He he knew what he was talking about. It was like I made sure I did not miss his class.
Yeah.
I made sure that. I made sure I did not miss his class.
Yeah.
And
That's how you know you're in a good class.
That's how you know.
You can't miss it.
Yeah.
right, and I had to right after this class. Yo, I gotta continue this. So right, and when I heard in person what's going on, I'm like, yes, that's what's going on. yes,
Yes,
right.
I think we're all ready for that now.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
Yes.
And when that happened, as soon as I saw the space, I just fell in love. And after I met the other Adam and John himself, and the first day, I just set off from there. And I was very comfortable telling John and Adam of my acting weaknesses.
Mm-hmm. Do we mind talking about it here, or like about your weakness?
no,
Because
of
I think
course,
it's
yeah.
important for actors to understand, like, obviously your strengths, but then it's also important to understand, like, okay, what do I need to improve on? I mean, you are in an acting school at the end of the day. So what is it? What are those right now that you're kind of working on?
When it comes to being an actor and a storyteller, right? You got to focus on your strengths, but at the same time, you need to just smash your ego out the window and just think about your weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot of of us actors don't do. Like because at the end of the day, let's be honest. Social media is a thing where people, like to hide and lie a little bit.
It's true.
I'm going to be honest, right?
It's true.
And a lot of people show their strengths, but they don't show their weaknesses, right? And one of my weaknesses as an actor is I keep hitting the mic again.
Here, let me help you out.
One of the weaknesses, that I face is always memorizing lines. But as I progressed and learned with with memorizing lines, is the fact that it wasn't about delivering the lines. It was just about like being immersed in the scene, and the lines would come. I remember me me and Adam would do this scene that John gave us.
Yeah.
And I remember we went through the scene a couple times, and I'm like, oh, well, I still have this paper. And I still
Yeah.
doing this.
It's kind of like a handcuff. Almost.
That's the thing. But
Right.
as soon as Adam ran this scene, I took out those handcuffs, and I'm saying like, whoa. Just right there was a moment, but unfortunately, you don't always get that moment back. It's just like, oh man, I wish I had that superpower all the time.
Right. Well, it's practice, right? Like just like anything, like swinging a baseball bat, shooting ball. Like it's repetition. Same thing with memorizing lines. It's the more you do it, the more your brain will pick up on that. Like there was when I first started acting. Oh my God, getting 2 pages to memorize in 2 days. Well, I was also 14 at the time. It was hard. It was very, very hard. Then near the end, when I was 17, 18, I'd get 10 pages in one day. And I'm like, all right, done. Like, it's fast. It's a practice. It's years of doing it. And you're right. And then once you're in the scene, right, learning, like, and trying to figure out, like, what am I trying to do here, takes your focus off of, I got to make sure I get the words right, and keeps it on what you're trying to do. Hey, my roommate, Nick, shout out to my roommate, Nick. He's an actor as well. He very rarely will stick to the script 100%. He'll switch up some words here and there as long as it makes sense. Also, shout out Adam. He's just arriving with food.
Hello.
But he keeps the same intention. He doesn't like add anything that's new, but he will change the line a little bit if it feels right, and it also helps him with his performance at the end of the day, right?
Yes.
So, but he still gets the same thing out. So, it's practice.
That's
It's
great.
practice.
That's
great. So you're working on that. Is there anything else that you're kind of working on as well?
I did a few self tapes, and actually John and Adam really really helped me with something that that was very surprising to me. I remember I did, well, I'm not gonna announce it here. Keep it a secret.
That's good. That's good.
It was a like wonderful TV series that my agent Jason excuse me presented to me the first day I came on his roster, and I was like, wow. He was like, you like this series? Like, yeah, I love this series, and it's never a guarantee in this industry. You have to learn to adapt to the word no, and that's why that's where actors, in my opinion, that's where actors fail, because you need to be patient. And
Yeah.
I've seen people come and go on this roster, come and go on in agencies like this, and Jason would always preach it to you. It's like you gotta be patient. Yeah. I remember he came. I remember he spoke on the phone the day he told me about the audition. He was like, Lawrence, if you just be patient, from a year from now we'll be laughing. Like, okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, so how do you handling with the rejection? Like, how do you go about it? How do you, Lawrence, like make it a little bit easier for yourself?
When you've been told no your whole life, I've been told no from friends, dates.
Same.
I think so.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're going through a little bit of a spell right now, folks.
Yeah, we are. You know what I mean? And and when you go through those kind of spells, you maybe, you know, people hear this and say like, damn, I shouldn't have rejected Lawrence, man. I shouldn't have, you know what I mean? And no, no.
Yeah.
You know, you go through a lot of circles in your life, and when you know you've been in the position of no becomes your best friend.
Yeah.
No becomes your best friend. And to the point that you forget about the word yes. And you're like, oh, wait, that exists?
Then when the word yes does come, it's, oh my God, right? It feels way, way better. And, you know, something that now that I'm coming back into industry, working with John, working with all these other actors, one thing that I'm seeing that I almost want to apply if I ever decide to go back to do acting would be falling in love with the process of auditioning. Because, like, everyone thinks that they're not going to act until they get into the set. And sometimes acting on set, and as crazy as it sounds, is less acting than the audition process because you're expected to show up, deliver, and you're done. Whereas when you're auditioning, you're developing a character, you're learning the scene, you're going through the process, right? And you get to do it on your own time, your own space. So that, in a way, is acting. So falling in love with that process and just be happy that you get an opportunity to show someone your work and not worry about the yes or no. Because in the end of the day, that's what I found when I was acting was my biggest Achilles heel was focusing on the result. And I'd be like, I'm just here to I got to book this. This is a really good TV show. I got to book it. And like that's in the back of my mind. Even though I'm in the scene, I think I'm in the scene, and I'm like, oh, I got to be in the scene so I can book it. You know what I mean? That's always in the back of my mind. But once I got near the end, it was about 3 years. I heard rejection every day. I know John, because when I was working with John, he was coaching me.
Okay.
We were talking about it a lot, how I just kept getting rejected. And I kept a tally of all my auditions. I had 45 auditions and in a spreadsheet. And red meant you didn't get a call back. Yellow meant you got a call back. There were 43 reds and 2 yellows. And green was book, and there was no green. So I remember at the end there, and I was coming into my last year of high school, and I was like, you know what? I am out of options here. Like, I almost told myself, like, I don't even care anymore. I don't even care. As bad as that sounds, I don't care. But what was good about that is when I said I don't care, I got rid of that voice in the back of my head that was like, I have to book. So the next few auditions I went to, I didn't think about that. I just went in and I did my craft. I didn't throw away the audition. I still
You
did my
surrendered
craft.
to the process.
I surrendered.
Yeah.
And guess what happened right after that? Booked. I booked 3 in a row. And they were the biggest bookings of my life. And it just so happened that it happened that way. So I'm not saying that's the answer, but
Stop caring.
stop caring, everyone. Stop caring about the end result, and you might have more fun. And those are the most fun auditions I've ever had.
Yeah, because you let loose and you weren't so focused on people pleasing too.
Exactly.
Which Adam Schuprik and I have talked about a lot is I think so many actors go in and they're so focused on trying to please the casting director that they forget about the character and the circumstances and everything else that's going on.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So, yeah, I mean, it teach their own. Whatever works for you. That's what I found what kind of worked for me near the end.
And I want to give a shout out too, because you mentioned something really interesting that you don't get a chance to really do the script analysis and dive into the character and everything when you're on set.
Yeah.
But I want to give a shout out to Kayla and to Diego, who are on the upcoming series Robin Hood.
Woo.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. We actually have,
great.
and also Richie Lawrence is is on the show as well.
Amazing.
So we have 3 clients that are out there doing their thing and doing really well. And what I'm really proud about Diego and Kayla is they didn't come to me to book the audition. They came to me to work on their character and everything before they went to set so that they could be prepared.
Yeah.
And they called me from set, the cutest thing. And they were like, we are so glad we did that because we would have never have had the time to really explore where this scene could go. But by working with you ahead of time, when we came in, the directors were all thrilled because, number one, it looked fantastic. It had already been worked. And they could just shoot.
Yeah.
And they didn't have to worry about the performance not being well because they didn't get a chance to work on the character stuff. They took it upon themselves.
And that's good.
Yeah. I mean, that's just a proud moment.
Right? Yeah. And well, what a lot of people don't understand, and this was a harsh reality to me when I showed up on Nickelodeon for the first time. It was a 3.5-month shoot, but the production didn't book any rehearsal time. We got 1 day to rehearse, but it was for our first scenes on set. And then after that, no more rehearsal. You're expected to show up to the set, lines memorized, work with the acting coach on the day of, which was helpful, but it's not going to ever reach its full potential. I mean, that's why when you audition for a TV show or a film or whatever, hopefully you get 2 days. First day, do all your research. Second day, rehearse. Let it digest, let it sink into your body. It's hard to let the material sink into your body when you have 30 minutes, right? So it's tough. It is tough. So, enjoy that audition process because that's probably the longest you're going to spend working on a scene.
A character, yeah.
Right? So
it's crazy.
Yeah.
So, Lawrence,
Yes, sir.
You are known not just by Act with Purpose and ourselves here, but even YCAA recognizes like your positivity and just the influence that you have on your community. And I guess the thing that I am curious about is how do you maintain that positivity when there is so much garbage happening all around you? And you don't let it seemingly affect you. How do you maintain your positivity?
When I grew up, I lived pretty rough, and I live all right now. Just me and my parents, and you go through that struggle, right? And you go through a lot of people who are yays and nays, and you live in that environment of rejection, and you go through 1,000 people every day. 1,000 people every day, with miserable faces, sad faces, and everything. And you think about the things that you should be happy about. You think about the things that you should be thankful for. You should be happy about the things that you should be looking forward to, and keep reminding yourself that it's not the end, right? So I learned how the way to be positive is just to knowing who yourself is first as an actor and just as a person, and carrying on that responsibility of being an actor, being a storyteller to a lot of people, and teaching a lot of people this is how to go in the industry. When I booked my third commercial, that was the very day when I shot that very commercial, that was the very day that I threw away all sorts of ego. And at the same time, me and Adam T talked about this previously. You do feel the energy of people who carry on with ego and pride with throughout the industry, and you have to feel sorry for them because they're doing it for a reason. And I've learned to combat that kind of stuff with a very, very strong-headed mindset in the industry, right? And those are the kind of exercises, that got me through to, to even stay positive. So that's how I did it. You just you exercise patience, you exercise time, right? And when you do that, you always remind yourself that it's going to happen for you. You're going to make it. You need patience. You need time. And I've seen people on my roster and people in general who want to try this and who want to try acting didn't really last long because it's like, they have no patience.
Got to be strong-minded.
Yeah.
Very strong.
Very, very, very strong-minded. And I've been told no so many times. Up to still to this day, I'm still a little bit sad of me not booking the role for one of my favorite DC shows, Titans. That makes me sad, but experiences like those, it makes you stronger. And those experiences turns into time and it turns into patience. And that's how you share that energy with the world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's how you stay positive. Yeah.
Can't agree more.
I think there's also, I think one of the hardest things for actors is there's this need to compare. It's like, well, I went to the same class as that person went to. How come I don't have an agent? And I'm not big. Well, you're not a 4'8" redhead.
Yeah.
There's no, you can't compare. Excuse me. And you just don't know how it's going to happen for one person, and then another person can be. It's not always the most talented person.
Yeah.
That's very
It's
true.
not always the most hardworking person. I think people are so desperate to find a specific formula.
Yes.
This is how you make it in the industry. And while, a formula might work for one person, it's not going to work for every single person because we're all so different. That's one of the things that I love about acting is that there is no right or wrong answer. And I love that when Lawrence comes in to do a scene, it's going to look different than how the next person would do it, or how you would do it, or how I would do it. And seeing people bring their own perspectives into the work is one of the things that's so exciting. But the main thing, we've got to get past and talk about like social media. You were talking about how we always like put our best foot forward and all that kind of thing. And yeah, I mean, it's true. Trust me. Instagram doesn't always paint the full picture.
See, this is the thing that a lot of people struggle to do, especially in the pop culture world that we live in today. A lot of people struggle to be themselves. I had a lot of people recently in the past and will come up to me and say, yo, I want to get into this actor thing. And the number one thing that they think about is just that, them being on camera, them showing out themselves, them flaunting themselves on social media. That's not what it's about. You need to have an artistic mindset to get into this business. And John, you know that very well. Adam, you know that very well. I know that very well.
Yeah.
I don't do it because I want to support the franchise, support the brand and everything. A lot. I can see, I'm an energy reader. I can see right through people.
100%.
I know when they're serious or not serious. Because as soon as you see you on this commercial or franchise and everything, they want into.
They
Right.
want they like that's the thing. People are addicted to it's the dopamine rush of being on
attention,
scene
yes.
and tension,
Yeah.
right?
But that's not what it's about.
It's not-
And this is
not
the
at
thing
all.
that unfortunately really upsets me because I waste my time trying to teach you of something that you think that you're going to get at the end of the day. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
And a casting director will shut them down and say like, you just want to be famous, do it, because I've seen it happen
Oh, you
before.
can see it. Oh yeah.
You just want to get into it because I seen an actor be told on the spot before, and it's
Wow.
embarrassing.
Wow. Really? Well, tell me about that. What happened there?
There was one time this guy wanted to do was it Circle K? Yeah, because like Circle K, like do some dope commercials. And what I seen, I wasn't feeling it, and the casting director wasn't feeling it, and he just pointed him out. He said, "What? Up? See? Yeah, you see that? Nah, I know what you want.
Yeah.
And it's not what we're looking for.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so
Well, they can smell it. You can sense it when
You
someone.
can smell desperation
They
in
can
the
smell
water.
it.
It's terrible.
you know when police takes like a sniffing dog? That's exactly what happened. Yeah.
Oh yeah. As soon as the camera's on you, it's the eyes. It's the whole. I've said, and like when I used to coach acting, I'd always say like, look, whatever. I know what's going on in your head because I look into your eyes and I can see it. It's like I'm trying really hard right now to show and look good, and it's like I can see it. Like what I was saying before, like that voice in the back of my head being like, I got to book this. They all saw it. I guarantee. Most
Yeah.
auditions I went to, and they saw I'm just trying really hard so I can book it and I can be on TV. It's like, okay, well, you're not acting. You're not being on scene. And you were saying before, acting you can't train. Training's important, but acting is everyone can do
I
it.
think can't be taught.
But you can't teach passion.
Right.
And you can't
Yeah.
teach drive. And you can't
Right.
teach somebody to be determined.
Right.
Like, those are the things that, like, you can teach somebody a craft, but are they going to do it?
Are they
Are they
gonna do
going
it?
to
Those
put it
traits are not
to-
teachable, no.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Right?
Right. And like I think I was also saying, like, for acting in specific, it's you can't. Everyone could do it in a sense. We're human beings, right? We go through our everyday lives being human beings. We're all actors constantly, but it's as soon as you put a camera in your face, you put an audience. There's money. Some people even see money as being a thing. It's like, oh, now I'm different. Now I got to be different. Now I'm gonna show off what I really want to be. I'm gonna show off what I want myself to be.
Exactly what you just said.
Right, and like human nature, there's I forget the guy who said this, really smart guy, knows a lot about human nature, human instincts.
Okay.
There's someone who so there's someone who we really are. There's the person who we think we are, and there's the person who people think we are. So people, when they get into acting, always want to be the person who they want to be, who they think they are.
Yes.
But they're not actually being who the person they are. Right? And then there's other people who want to put the person in front of what they want other people them to be. But it's that person, the hardest person to find is the person who you truly are.
And social media
right?
does a very good job of doing that.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
often paint this picture of what you just said.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of who people of who
We want
of
people
what, yeah.
to see us be who we think we are.
Listen, man, I didn't come on this podcast just to be on camera, right? And like break the fourth wall or anything. It's like I come on this podcast because this is what actors need to hear. This is what people need to hear. Like, this is not a game.
I agree.
This is this
Especially
is
not
not a
for
game at all.
agents and casting directors. This is how they pay their rent or
Yes.
mortgages, how they put their kids through school, how they put food on the table. So it is not a plaything.
No,
It is a serious business, but most people just don't take it seriously.
Yeah. And then
that's the problem.
Yeah, it is upsetting when people will come across my inbox and they're looking for the end result. They want the end result right away, and I can't help you. That's up to you. And we always make sure in our acting classes, like, at the end of the day, it's like, we will help you, but at the end of the day, it's you. I can't get you booked. I can't get you an agent. I can't make you a great actor. You have to do it. You have to do it.
Responsibility.
Right?
You
It's like,
have
it's
the
literally
keys.
like anything.
Yeah.
Like I keep saying, because I love baseball. It's like playing baseball. I can't make you a good player. You gotta train. You gotta dig deep. Everything's mental in life. Everything's a mental barrier. There's always mental challenges. I can't go in your brain and solve that. Right? That's gotta be
cool as
you.
it would be.
That's gotta be you.
Yeah.
Lawrence, so we were talking a little bit before about some of the projects that you booked. There's a few of them. Tell me about the one, because I'm really interested, about the Blue Jays one. I want to hear about it.
Why?
I wonder why. John wants me to shameless plug all the time. I ain't doing
Shameless
it.
plug
There?
for Blue Jays today.
He did it for
Available
me.
on YouTube.
Available now for free.
So it wasn't on YouTube, yeah.
Anyways, go ahead.
No. So I remember I think it was out one time, and my very first agent said, "Hey, you have an audition." I'm like, "Okay, what's it for?" And they said Blue Jays. I'm like, "Okay." So as soon as I got home, I did it, and I had no idea. Excuse me. I had no idea how to do a self-tape or just how to do the setup. So I just got like a sheet and I went into the kitchen and I just put it up. I'm like, I don't even know how to do this, right? I was like, what,
Hey, that's
24?
crafty.
Yes, 25 at the time. And I just said, I'll never forget. I said, "Hi, my name is Lawrence Adams and I'm doing a Blue Jays commercial." So
Nice.
I just reacted to, I just did it, and
Yeah.
I pretend I just got the dollar out of my ear, and
So what? Tell me what was
Yeah.
the action?
So I had to react to Ace getting getting the dollar out of my ear. But the thing is, in the tape, I dropped the dollar, and I was still in character. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I sent off that tape. I'm like, okay, that was stupid. And then next, like the next day I book it because like they just like, okay, first of all, they like this high top that I had.
Okay.
Which I'll never do again. Don't ask me. And so yeah, and when I dropped the dollar, and they said like, shit, book him,
Yeah.
And then I'm like, wow, just like that, and so the next day I went to the Rogers Center, and it was great. I went on the field and I met the director. He was like, hey, Lawrence, how you doing? This Mike, and this Mike's my worst enemy, and I was not as close to my mouth now, and there was a guy that I met at a bar. He was working on that set. He was like, Lawrence? I was like, yo, Adam, what's up, man? His name was Adam, too. So
Goodness. We got to get rid of these Adams. But
oh my
go
God.
ahead.
Too much Adams, man.
Too many.
So we shot the commercial, and then after there was a makeup artist, and and the rest was history.
Yes.
So
you get on set, you get you meet everybody, you get into wardrobe, I assume, makeup, and then
an usher, and that was it. And it kept. I remember in that year, 2019, I booked commercials back to back.
Oh, nice.
Just like the World Series, back to back.
Oh yeah, and very nice.
Right. Yeah. So it was Blue Jays, Circle K, and my last commercial, because I haven't got a commercial like in so long, was Cineplex for the Rec Room, and let me tell you, the only movie that I ever auditioned for was Fast and Furious.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I told people that, so people were like, what?
That's a good movie.
Yeah,
to
man.
audition for, yeah.
And that commercial blew me the hell up because it was playing at every Cineplex that you went to.
Oh wow.
And every time that someone saw me, it was like, aren't you that guy from the Record commercial? I was like, for the 100th time, yes.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome,
right?
Though.
And every time that one of my friends would go see a movie, they would take a screenshot. They were like, "Hey, Lawrence," and I was like, "Thanks." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I went to I saw myself in IMAX for the first time, and that moment was special to me because I always wanted to see myself in IMAX. It was a funny story. A guy was sitting beside me, and I was eating popcorn, and he was looking at me. He was like. And he was like,
I'm here. Yeah. What'd you do in the commercial?
If you're not watching the video, Lawrence just did a double take.
He
pulled out his phone. And he was like, just like that.
So that's crazy. So what did you do in the commercial? Like, what was the action there? I want to see it. What's the picture?
In the rec room?
Yeah,
for the thing?
yeah.
Oh, okay. So there's three actors which I saw on social media, and my character, he's breaking the fourth wall. He was like, can't be him do this again. Okay. Can you make me do this? Okay. Can't decide your plans, and then it goes to the next scene. It's like, get involved in the rec room.
Okay.
I can't remember how it goes again.
Okay.
I have to look at it again, and that was the last commercial I ever did. Wow. And ever since I got with YCAA, and Emma was my first. Shout out to Emma. Hi. When I went into that agency, they just started giving me TV shows. I never saw a commercial again. Wow. I'm like, am I not meant for commercial or something like that? So it's, and then after nights and nights and nights of doing auditions, Mayor Kingstown happened. That's when it just set the drawback of
what a great show to be a part of. I mean,
wow, like Paramount Plus, they never stopped talking about that show. Like Jeremy Renner, Jeremy, he's in Pittsburgh right now. We're like wrapping up season 2, and it was. I watched Jeremy in cinema when the first Avengers came out, and I'm like, wow, just working with these guys. And then next, 2021 happens, and I'm on the same episode as him. I'm like, wow, so
amazing. Tell me about that. What was that experience like being on set there?
So Mayor Kingstown, it was really new to me because I got everything that an actor needs, like a trailer and personal driver, and I remember the guy drove me to McDonald's,
That's
and
amazing.
exactly, and and being on set and being in the director's chair, man, I love those chairs, man.
Oh, I love-
That's why that's why I keep sitting on the chairs in
Yes,
class.
in Video Village, the higher ones that you know what I'm talking about, the foldable ones. Yeah.
The director chair,
I love
right?
those. They're so
And
nice.
It, like I actually have my name on it. Unfortunately, I don't have a picture, but yeah, it was. I was there with the main actors. Like very, very, very nice guys, and and we were down. We were there on the scene, and the number one question that was in my head was like, "Am I coming back? Am I coming back? Am I coming back?" But moving forward as an actor, I learned is just to not worry about those stuff and just
It's true.
just let go.
Yeah, like there was same with me when first of all when we only had one season of The Other Kingdom, it was always like, are we coming back? Are we coming back? And I built my hopes up and we didn't. And then there was the YTV thing where it was a movie. There was 3 movies and they wanted to adapt it. They were pitching it for a TV show, and the director was telling me, well, if we pitch it, I was a very small role in the movies, but they're like, if we pitch it, we want you on. And it wasn't because of my performance was anything better or not. They just liked me. They just straight up liked me. They're like, we want you to be a bigger part. And they also knew that I was doing, at the same time, Nickelodeon. So they're like, oh, because I was on there, they're like, we want you to come on here because we know you could be a little bit of a bigger part and you could take on that. But again, I was like, oh, maybe I'll come back. And
Showrunner, yeah.
Yeah, and it didn't really happen. But when you move on, right? And it's sometimes it can be disappointing, but there always
100%.
will be another audition, another project, something out there, right? And there's no deadline. There's no deadline to be.
There never is
Never
a deadline.
is.
It's always gonna be like, hey, maybe Adam is great for this series, or or John or Adam is, or the other Adam is great for is great for that series, or Lawrence is great for this franchise.
Yeah.
You just never know. I was watching Zendaya from Spider-Man, the actor.
Oh yeah, she's lovely.
Oh, she's amazing, and she was in like great movies like Spider-Man franchises and Dune and everything else. And
Yeah.
she said, when something is for you, and you know when it's meant for you, and when you don't get it, it's not meant to be.
Yeah.
Right. And when you do get it, you know it's meant for you. And again, she had a positive mindset, and and you learn from these actors, and I learned from like top tier dogs too, like Denzel and Michael B. Jordan, and number one that's always gonna be on my list is Chris Evans. I'm a big Chris Evans fan. Huge Chris Evans fan, right?
Yeah.
And I like Jennifer Lawrence and
Jennifer
Chris Pratt's a funny guy, man.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt's a funny guy.
So is Jennifer. She's like so.
Jennifer is just like she
grounded.
has a very, very, very
She's just
slim
herself.
sense of humor.
Yeah, and that's her, and you could tell in interviews and in everything. Like she's just being who she is,
Yes.
and she's very unapologetic about it, which is why I love her. Right? And she's also fantastic.
I feel like her and Jim Carrey are the same thing.
Yeah, in terms of their.
When it comes to
energy?
unapologetic, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love Jim Carrey.
You just learn from these guys, yeah.
Yeah.
Really learn from these guys.
Yeah. We have a little bit of time left on
Please.
this podcast, so I wanted to get, because we have both you in the room, just like kind of share your experiences being his coach for the 4-week period. Like, tell me a little bit about that experience. Like,
I think the thing that I love about Lawrence is when he's in the room, his presence. He's there. He's joking. Not in a distracting way, but just like he's engaging with people in the room, and I think that sort of welcoming approach and just attitude makes everyone else feel at ease. So what I saw over the course of the 4 or 5 weeks that we were working together in scene study is not only his growth, but actually how he impacted other people's growth too, by helping create that safe, fun environment. And in such a small, intimate group of actors, one personality not fitting in with everybody else in a small group like that could really throw things off.
right.
Every single person in that group brought something so unique. And I loved seeing the scenes because, it was a real lesson for me, because just seeing how the same scene can be interpreted 4 different ways, and then changing the partners around, seeing it evolve yet again, right? It was just a really really special moment, and it got me thinking about some classes that I want to offer moving forward, and it's because of you guys. I mean, you guys really help move this school forward, and you guys are helping me see like where I fit in terms of the school as well. Because look, a lot of people already have me on their resume, so I don't need to be teaching every single class. That's not my role there. Okay. But if I can bring Justin Michael Carrier, Adam Sanders, and now we have this amazing new workshop that we're working on with Jonathan Segal from Schindler's List, among many other. He's a filmmaker.
Justin
himself.
Michael Carrier.
Yeah.
That guy, man. He's wow. Justin, if you're watching this, I just want to say thank you, man. You've been one of the people that really changed my mindset in the acting industry, man. Thank you, buddy.
I'm so happy to hear you say
Great
that.
guy, man.
Number one, it's important to always have an attitude of gratitude. But number two, I've got to tell you, we've never had such great feedback. I mean, every single person who's gone through Justin Michael Carrier's audition prep workshop has come out of it saying they will never view auditions the same way.
It changes your whole mindset.
So that tells you you've got a really good fit.
Yeah.
He's
my
awesome.
gosh.
I say bring him back. I say bring Justin back.
Oh yeah, he's coming back.
Trust me.
We have actually we're getting some people in September. In
Yeah.
September, he's doing it again, another online class. Yeah, honestly, I want to take his class.
I know.
I want to get excited about auditioning again, because that's the thing. It's like it's such a different skill, auditioning. It's like it's a tool, it's a skill. So having the ability to understand the process, understand how to present yourself the best way possible that you never thought of before, it's a skill. It's an absolute skill. So I know you enjoyed that because we talked about it that one time when I sat down for the testimonial with you. So you really enjoyed it. You told me a little bit about it. What are some things that like really stood out to you in that class?
When I was going through my process of going through this audition, and during the time, I really wanted it, because it looked like in the moment, it was like I felt like it was a big break moment. It's like, if I get this audition, and you know what I mean, I was during that time I had that mindset, but how the way that Justin was explaining the ins and outs of this self-tape I was doing, and it's like, whoa. It just like he just went in really depth from like what to wear, and the eye line, and the tone, the speech, the hell, it's
everything.
Wow, he was such amazing. And recently, Adam T really taught me how to do in that short amount of time self tapes properly. Him as well, because I felt like that whole time I was doing self tapes wrong. And I did. I'm like, wow, I used to put this long intro, and casting directors, they don't have time to do it. You just intro tape, that's it.
Yep.
And overall, going back to Justin, Justin's been nothing but terrific. He's been
Such a find. Yeah. We're so thrilled to have
established
him.
actor,
Established and comes from Calgary with just some really strong both stage and film training. And there's just some really exemplary people that have come out of the Calgary market that are here in the Toronto market now. It's unfortunate for the Calgary market, but it's really fortunate for Toronto. Holy cow, there's some strong actors. Yeah. But yeah, I love what you're saying, and I love what Justin is doing, because there's some really, really strong actors who just don't know how to audition properly, right?
Yep.
So, and it's unfortunate we have to kind of get through, that process. I want to go back to something that we were talking about earlier, because you mentioned something about there's the version of ourselves that we think we are. There's the version that other people see us as, and then there's the version that we try to be. All those kinds of
the
things,
real
right?
you, and
the real you. I think one of the reasons that I love acting is this whole idea between perception versus reality. And it's also interesting to me how many times actors are confused with their characters that they play on film. People assume that, well, that's who you are. You're
Right.
a bully if you play a bully on TV. You're
Right.
a jokey kind of person if you're jokey on TV. You could be really serious and completely different from who you are in real life.
Yeah.
I never forget, I think my first real deep dive into this was because something happened personally.
Okay.
And I was in Seattle at QFC, which is a grocery store, and I was checking out, and I hear this voice behind me, and they say, "Ugh, is that John Stevens?" And I just, my heart sank, and I was just like, "Oh God, oh my God, okay, somebody really does not like me."
Yeah.
So then, I kind of slyly try to find a way to look and see who it is, and I see who it is, and it's somebody I went to high school with, and I was kind of hurt because I actually kind of always looked up to her. I respected her. I thought she was kind of a cool person, so I was a little shocked. So anyway, I was like, well, this is one of those moments. Do I sit here and not find out why, or do I just walk out of here with my tail between my legs? So I finished checking out and everything, and I stood there and I waited for her to check out. And then she started to kind of walk by me and say, "Hey," I won't say her name, but hi. I said hello, and I said, "I'm sorry, but I couldn't help but overhear you saying that you had an issue with me, and if I did something, or said something or whatever, I want to take the opportunity to apologize and to take ownership if I caused you harm." Oh, John Stevens, you were always so stuck up. And I was like, I was stuck up. And she, yes, you never talked to people. You did it. You just thought you were so much better than everyone else. And that was when it really dawned on me. So I was very shy. People are always surprised. But sometimes people who are very big, in presenting and, being on set, being on stage, completely different thing to me. But one-on-one, going into a party, I am terrified. I am the most awkward socially, right? So I'm not a particularly social person in many situations. But in any case, so I started to think about it. I'm like, okay, so I didn't talk to people. And so the way it was perceived is that I was stuck up. But in reality, I was so shy. I was dying to be invited to a party. I was dying for somebody to talk to me and to help take that awkwardness away. Yes. But it's just interesting. And I know that if she thought that, then it must have been, she couldn't have been the only person. Right. So it really got me to think about my own, how I'm seen, how I'm viewed. Yeah. And I do try to make a conscious effort to try and speak to people at parties and things like that. But I'm really awkward. And I don't know if that's ever going to go away.
You're not going to always get what you want when it comes to this business. And I've learned that in the current and the longevity of my career. Because again, people have asked me, how do you do the acting? How do you get into it? How do you do this? How do you do that? And when they see the hard work, they don't want to be active.
Yeah,
they don't want to go
do
to
it.
process.
They don't like the answer.
Yeah.
They like the answer, right? But I mean, you're not gonna get the okay. You need there's a right knee and a left knee. On the left knee, you're going to get the answer that you want, and on the right knee, you're going to get the answer that you need. You understand?
Yep. Absolutely, I do.
You don't get this. This is why they say you don't get what you want in life.
Oh, if I want what I want in life, it'll all be easy. It'd be all easy.
And
you get a freaking genie.
Actors are just like kids going and asking their parents permission for something. Actors will go and ask a bunch of different people the same question about the industry until they get the answer that they wanted to hear the first time.
Oh my gosh.
And this is how scam agencies make their bank, right? Is they hear no, 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 no. Yes, absolutely. Oh, you're perfect. You're wonderful. You're exactly what the industry needs. We just need $5,000 for your sign-on fee,
Yep.
your pictures. Isn't this exciting? And then we're going to get you up on the website. Oh, God, this is just so great.
It happened to me. It happened to me. It happened to me. Unfortunately, and then I realized, actors, you need to know this. Never go to an agency that's asking you to pay up front.
Yeah.
Never.
100%.
I've learned that. I've learned that. I've learned that the hard way. Yes, I got what I needed out of it, but that's not the way I wanted my career to go. And then after they'll throw these auditions at you, and they'll go on the computer and say like, oh, you have this audition, you have that audition.
Yeah.
But they're not teaching you. As YCAA does this, like YCAA is so good at doing this. They're very good at teaching us of like the process of how to get there and how to do it. Offers us like great schools like John Stevens schools and you know and many other tutorial things.
Yep.
Right. In order for us to be the actors that we need to be, that casting directors and movie producers are TV producers are looking for.
Exactly.
Right. You need to do stuff the right way. This is the reason why this business is not to play with. Mm-hmm. This is serious. This is serious work. An actor named Conrad Coates, he told me this. The job is to audition, and the vacation is the booking.
Yeah.
Because you're on set, you're on a chair, and everything. Yeah.
Being on set is the most fun ever. It's
That's
the
right.
best time ever.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, the job. You're right. The job is auditioning. 100%.
So, Lawrence, I have one last question for you.
Yeah, John. What's up?
How has acting contributed to your life being better?
It really got me more confident about myself and in life, and connecting with people much better, right? And it's crazy to know that every person that I personally know, they know me for who I am. And I'm not gonna lie, that does get overwhelming because like I feel like sometimes people forget who I really am and or who they see me on social media and everything else, and what I know, and it really taught me how to be a better admiration for people that I love. It taught me how to be a better person. It taught me how to not be scared of what you love to do. Right? It taught me to love myself more, love people more, you know, and you just be a more positive person.
Awesome.
Love that answer.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
That's an amazing answer.
Yeah,
It's the best answer possible.
All right. Well,
Because
Lawrence,
it's the truth.
it is very true. Lawrence, thank you so much for coming on today, man. It's great
First
having you.
guest on the podcast. Yes, man. So excited.
Awesome.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the conversation that we had. I enjoyed the conversation.
This is great. Yeah, thank you for having me. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Well, thank you for listening. And if you would like to be a guest, or if you know somebody who would be a good guest, or you have a topic that you think should be discussed,
Call me. My phone number is probably somewhere online. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.